The Albanese government is still clinging to its dream of hosting the UN Climate Summit in 2026, undeterred by warnings it could cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. Environment Minister Murray Watt told Sky News this morning that Chris Bowen is working night and day, would you believe, to secure the bid.
I know Chris Bowen in particular is working overtime to secure this for Australia, and we still consider it would be a really great opportunity for Australia to host that.
Well, thank God someone's working overtime. For the bargain price of around $300 million, we would get the privilege of hosting thousands of private jetting climate crusaders, all here to warn us about the dangers of, well, private jets. It would be the most expensive Zoom call Australia never ever needed.
Yeah, but don't worry, James, it's not a waste. Nothing says net zero like blowing $250 million on finger food, lanyards and climate self-righteousness.
Yeah, nothing says global leadership like begging the rest of the world to let us host a party that we can't afford for a problem we can't solve with people who won't change. Although Anthony Albanese would disagree. Here he is talking about energy policy at the Bush Summit on Friday.
And I'll continue to engage, but I won't people. I won't come along and say, we're going to do something with new coal-fired power stations when it didn't happen. And I'm not going to come along and say the solution is something that might happen sometime into the 2040s.
Yeah, Albo's not going to BS anyone. He says, well, hang on, what about our $275 in energy relief, James? I thought that was going to go down under the renewables only experiment. So who is BSing who, Prime Minister? Please tell us. But gee, Chris Bowen, for goodness sake, another taxpayer-funded mess. Yet Bowen will tell you he's working day and night. He's working very, very hard on this, on a UN climate conference to the tune of $300 million to get billionaires on their private jets flying here. No, gee, not very carbon neutral, might I just add. Also, Bowen can, pat himself on the back. So if he's not working day and night, James, for the UN conference, he's working day and night for green hydrogen, for wind and solar, for transmission lines. And who isn't he working day and night for? I would say you and I would say everyday Aussies.
If this government think they've got problems with people upset about immigration, try hosting a climate conference in this country while none of us can afford electricity, while we're worried about the reliability of electricity, while manufacturing is going overseas because they can't afford power, and they're going to rub it in our faces by hosting this climate conference. That's called treating the citizens with contempt. And not only that, Danica, but we'll pay twice, because we'll pay the $300 million or whatever it is to host the conference. But in order to host the conference, Australia's got to boast about our superior climate credentials, and so the government will be tempted to make outlandish targets with regards to emissions reductions to impress the global elite as they gather here to tell us to sacrifice even more before they fly home on their private jets. I just cannot believe the government will do this to us.
We can't even reach our current targets. The warnings are there from the experts that we're not going to reach net zero 2050. We're not going to reach 2030 targets. And yet you're right, Bowen's going to have this climate conference here. Bowen's going to stand there, pat himself on the back and go, look, we can go bigger and bolder.
And that's what it is. It's grandstanding on the world stage.
Exactly.
Great for Chris Bowen, terrible for the rest of us.